go. Oh, we're just experiencing the boat ride currently. I should probably turn up the desktop audio in... Turn it back to its normal volume. Hey dog, recheck that volume for me. Recheck the volume for me. Want to make sure we sound good. That's what I thought. Actually, that should be a little better. Is that a little better? I'm being told it's still a little too loud. Apologize for the pains. That should be a little better. I can't believe this one with the controls.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
It feels like it might be a little too quiet now. Could you hear her talking? She was like reading the book, and I could barely hear her. If we go back up to like there, that should be alright. Unless anything super loud happens, in which case I'm gonna regret that.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Oh, I should probably play the game if it's screwing with my mic. What is... wait. There wasn't anything else to interact with, was there? Did I miss something? This gate is really
Someone had put up a
ominous.
chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it. My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
That sounds like a good time. Also, you can totally see the house in the distance from back here. I didn't even realize. That's insane. Is it bad that I kind of want a house like that? Can we build the wild ADHD mess of a house that would be?
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Trespassers will be prosecuted by frogs, apparently.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
The finches. Oh, the cute little birds up there. I would love a ridiculously sprawling house in a rainforest almost like this. It's so pretty back here. I wouldn't want to deal with getting in and out of it though. I would be really annoyed by that because that's so much out of work. Should I walk the other way? It seemed more dangerous.
I wouldn't have driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Could we have skipped all this by going the other way? Oh my god, it's a deer. I don't want to spook it. I guess we're stuck now. I can't ever move again. Because I don't want to scare the deer. I guess I technically could go the other way. Hey, buddy. My watch seems to think I'm currently standing. Even though it was telling me to stand earlier.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
I like how they treat the house as a person, as a character. Look at that beast. Oh, you got dibs on the room up at the top. Princess in the tower. She nodded. Yeah. Yeah, she would be all the way up there. We'd have to make an elevator though, to combat the laziness, or she'd never come down. That got her laughing.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Alright, but like, what is that? Can we talk about the frog though? Is that a dragon head? What is that tongue? Also, just in case you missed the original missing poster, they put one directly on the path. Right there for you. Alright. Where do we go? Do we go up to the front, or do we go...
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Why are you afraid of the house, lady? Seems an odd thing to be scared of. Though I suppose that's what we're here to find out. I think I've seen this game played once a very long time ago. Are we gonna crawl through the doggy door? That's...
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot
horrifying.
easier when I was 11.
To not be able to see what's in the room that you're walking into as you're crawling through a tight space. I'm gonna need a minute. I got my heart beating. I'm being laughed at and made fun of. Judge me all you want. That's horrifying. Why is that door open? That's sketch. Or as dolls like to say, sketch balls.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
I think I cheated by not walking in the front door. I think the front door was supposed to be locked or something. And we crawled through the doggy door instead. Already. Instead of just being normal people and trying the front door first.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Okay, so like this house is really adorable and way too cluttered. But like, I feel like if me and mine were living in a house this size, this might kind of be what it looks like. Oh no, did it shut off? I think we lost our lighting. Yeah, our light died. Oh well, I guess we'll sit in this like reddish light. It's good enough. You can still see my beautiful face as it gets blurry.
Instead of a
I don't think
family, there were just memories of one.
Creepy. I don't think I'm entertaining enough for Doll, so I think she stopped watching.
Only one restaurant would deliver to our house. We had Chinese a lot.
I think that the Chinese place would come all the way out here to deliver is kind of dope. I'd have Chinese a lot too.
After Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got pretty sick of salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
How much y'all want to bet Molly's still roaming around in here? Gnawing on dead bodies and shit. It was creepy. The whole vibe of this game is like subtly a horror game, but like under the guise of a walking simulator. It's like I have not really played, I've just walked into things. Raw fowl. That's what that says. Raw fowl. What? What was that sound? Why do they have like 3 copies of the Northwest Chef? Like, good book, I bet. Alright then. Literally 3 copies. And 2 copies of the Pacific Pantry. Weird. Alright. I guess they just ran out of books to print. The Nordic Cookbook. Oh, no problem. I'm sorry to hear your internet was down. It's going pretty good. We just started up What Remains of Edith Finch. Nice little kind of spooky story-based game where I have to do a lot less of the talking. Mostly just because I'm getting kind of sleepy. Probably got another hour in us though. How's your night going?
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Those are cool. I always wanted to learn how to play cello. I had a roommate that was really
Even the
incredible at it.
fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
There was another house apparently. Good to know. Are we gonna find another copy of all those same cookbooks? There's the Pacific Pantry. We saw that one. There's gonna be like a secret light switch here. Yeah, definitely let me know. What do you do for work? Why do they have so many copies of the same books? Feel claustrophobic, and it's not even like an actual living room I'm walking around in. Although, this is lovely. I want this in my actual house around every entryway, on every wall. It's fine. Fill it all with books. Alright, I think it might be time to go upstairs. I don't really see, unless there's somewhere to go over here. Why do I hear rattling? Man, this game makes me way more nervous than it should.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
I read a book like that once. The book was like, essentially an entire town got hit with a chemical weapon that reduced bodies to ash. And it's like a young girl who hid away in like a cellar or something, but her family and everybody in the town and everybody was just gone. And it's like her trying to struggle to survive, like growing up in that as like a teenage girl. It was wild. Good story. Hey, that's awesome. I'm also a web developer. I do a bit of graphic design as well. Mostly UI, UX design type stuff, but I have about 6 years of experience too. I've been doing it about the same amount of time. That's awesome though. It's always nice to hang out with somebody else who does the same thing. Yeah. Mostly work with JavaScript frameworks and application development and that kind of thing, but yeah.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
They were trying to send Granny to a nursing home. That's pretty messed up. Not even Granny, Great Granny. That's the room we just came out of. I'm not like getting any extra information out of that. Alright, I think we've walked around this area long enough. Time to head upstairs. I wish we could sit in the chair and use the chair. My grandma had one of these. Yeah, sure, you can send me that in Discord. Happy to take a look.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
I like Edie. Excuse me, sorry. I don't want to go in there just yet. I want to look at this view. That is so pretty. Look at that. Can you imagine that being the view from your living room window? Just like right on the beach. Could go out and swim. Or, you know, I guess have the first build of your house completely sink. That is another possibility. Oh no. Oh no, I don't want to do it.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years. Until
That's
America grew out of it.
fucking creepy. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oof. Okay, so as a kid, I watched one of the Scream movies, and I don't know which one it was, but I know it was one of the Scream movies. And, like, I can't remember if they knock or ring a doorbell or something, but the character, looks through a peephole and gets a knife through the eye. And that messed with me as a kid. That still mess with me today. I still can't handle looking into a peephole. Forget that. I'm not looking at it. I'm just gonna open the door. If somebody come out with me with a knife and the door is open, I can punch them back. Or, get stabbed. But at least I've got options. If I'm looking through a peephole and they got a knife, they just stab me in the eyeball. And then we done. And then yeah.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
The one that sank. Good job, buddy. You did it real good. Also, again, copies of all the same books. I wonder if there's actually, a story reason for that, and not just, developer laziness. Or even if it was developer laziness, hopefully they figured out a story reason to work in there that actually makes sense and doesn't feel like a shoe-in story reason.
Mom must have locked the 3rd floor stairs on the night we left.
Okay, well, I can't get up there that way. I can't go that way. So there's this way. Oh no. I don't like it. I don't want it. Why this game gotta give me so many peoples? Okay, fine, you win, game.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
She has a lot of the same books too, and I just heard creaking behind me, and nope. Why? Why you gotta do that to me, game? Alright.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Wait, what? Was his brother dead the whole time? Did she just say he spent 7 years with a corpse? Huh? Alright, lady.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
I feel like that would make sense if the only house you've ever been in had sealed rooms and peepholes and stuff you weren't allowed inside of. Thank you, r/sourdough. What? Apparently Reddit decided I'm into sourdough. Did we look in that one? It's this one we haven't looked at. No, we did look in that one. We looked in that one. And we looked in this one. We looked in all of them. We looked at them all. But just to be sure, I'm gonna check this one again. Yeah, that was the paintings. And that was the split room. And yes. Which leaves us but one option.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
This whole house is like a time capsule of this family. Like all sealed up each time.
Lewis
the
told me
relative
there were
dies.
secret passages, but I never believed him.
And we found what the key is for.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Okay, so Mom gave us the key to the secret
Reading
passage.
this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
That's cool. Have we established whether the brother is older or younger or not?
But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Hey, we hit our checkpoint. We like checkpoints. Alright.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
I didn't mean to close that. That was funny. A little tiny gerbil. It's a balloon. She got a pine cone. What is that? Is that a tree of some kind? Bamboo, maybe? Molly. We can't look at it from this side? Okay.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Yeah, that makes sense. I bet it would kind of feel like a painting when you're looking at it through, like, a lens for so long. Ooh, is this where we get to have a fun adventure? It is.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Can we not eat the gerbil? Oh.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
So we eat some gerbil food.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Locking your kid in their room is kind of sketch.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
No Halloween candy. A bunch of those same books. Why do they got these books in a tiny little kid's room? Was one of the family like a writer or something? I bet one of the family was a writer.
I kept eating and eating.
That's dangerous. We don't condone eating toothpaste. That is poisonous.
Then I
in
heard
large
chirping
doses.
outside my window.
That's because you've now
It was a
lost your
barn
mind from
swallow
eating
going back
toothpaste
to her
probably.
nest.
Hey, there's a Lumi cat behind me. Hey, sweet kitty boy.
I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Well, actually, I'm invisible. I wouldn't be able to tell if I was a cat or not. See, I can't look down at my hands. They're gone. Wait.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Okay, apparently we press space to jump. Come here, birdie.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Rabbits. The rabbits.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
How does this little girl know that owls don't chew their food like snakes? Also,
mama
how is this
rabbit.
little girl this articulate? I had a kid. My kid at this age would not even kind of, no. Oh, we're about to get a water of it. Missed. Where you at? We actually had
He was
stews.
almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
In a tree. Shark in a tree. Are you ready, kids? I can hear you. Oh, and that's exactly as much of that song I can sing before I get copyright struck. Also, this reminds me of my least favorite
I
scene
rolled
in
off
The
the
Boys.
cliff and into the ocean.
Also, I just think I'm in a
Now,
car crash.
I was hungrier than ever.
Alright.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
I think this kid has some mental health problems. I don't know where. We're gonna cut the seal off. We know this.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
What? Oh, we have to like pull ourselves to.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
She says it as I literally knock all this shit over on my way to kill. Yummy people. Can you just turn me around? Because I'm supposed to be going the other direction. Go ahead.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
My little tentacle gets all gooped up in my hands. That's so sneaky like. Or
But
letting
after
in
the
your mind.
last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Is this... Are we about to eat a little girl?
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Bro, I promise you. This is not gonna be what... That can't taste good. Look where you're at, man. What the heck is this viewpoint?
I got closer and closer.
Where's that hungry little girl? This is hella creepy.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
That's the creepiest thing I've ever heard a little girl say. Like officially. Way to go, Molly. You 10 out of 10. Would never read again.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Edie would have. She's a senile old lady. Let's
I
close
got
our
the sense
book up.
Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Wait, that wasn't open before. Alright.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
It's a ghost. Is that how we came in? There's gotta be something, right? Is that under her bed? It pointed me here. But that doesn't seem right. It's backwards and we can't go that way. And it's a puzzle game and I'm stuck. Do we go out the window? Is that a cat?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
It's gorgeous, but also creepy as hell. There's a statue over there. Near the treehouse, maybe?
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Let's check something real quick. How are we doing? We're doing pretty good. So far been a pretty good stream tonight. How are we doing on time? We got about 30 more minutes.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
So this is in the PNW. That explains the trees and all the beautiful greenery and the rainy gray sky and all of that. That makes perfect sense. After living up there for a while, it's cool to see that in a game.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
So that's the statue we saw.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
That smile on that dude is so creepy. Alright. How do we put this thing down? We back away from it. I see. Now we have
Whatever's
new
wrong with this
tree.
family, it goes back a long ways.
The controls in this game are so immersive and so strange. Somebody's pill container. Is that? No, it's perfume. I don't know what Granny getting up to. There's a bunch of bird cages with dead birds. All the home videos. My parents never really did that.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
I like that. Sorry. Can I go out by dragon? Is that a thing?
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Yeah. That's a hell of a bathroom. Oh, is it another We found another secret passage. There's a secret in this bathroom by Fri and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Don't go through yet, don't go through yet, don't go through yet. We don't want to go through yet. No, can we go back? We can go back, okay. We couldn't go back in the last one. That's what got me worried. We're not ready to move forward yet. She's got the granny chair in the shower. That's Fri. Fri and Finch.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Oh, I bet. I feel like that's some shit my grandma would pull on my mom.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
That's sad.
Great-grandma had always been the family's biggest fan.
There's a duck. Hi, duck. Why is there a sword? Holy Is that this old dude's sword? Who's he got up with that sword, man? Chill, bro. Alright. I think we got all the things. That's cool. I love that. The like birds coming out of the painting onto the wall. That's so pretty. Hey, I've been there. It's really pretty up there. We were just talking about how we need to go back. Be a lot of fun. It's a hell of a hike, though.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Hey, there's another Milton drawing. And again, we're saving. There's so many cool things about this room. Alright, let's take a look around.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
This is such a cool
I guess my grandpa
room.
didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
I like how you get to play out each of the stories as you hear them. I feel like it would help if I did the thing it wants me to do.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
That was dark. And also really beautiful.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
As I was saying before we were so eloquently interrupted,
After
I
the
would-
funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
that timing was so good. I couldn't have that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna move again until I speak, because if I move again, I'm gonna get interrupted again. This command center thing is awesome. That was all. I'm gonna go now.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
That's really cool. I wish I could have built something like that for my kid. That's so awesome. It's got a little drawbridge over the bed. That's so dope. Looks like he's kind of got one too, or he could have had one. That's cool. Okay, so this door's sealed. So now we need to find a way out, which I think is gonna be back here somewhere. That's cool. That's really neat.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
It's back here before we... Oh, that's gonna be out too. There's another Milton drawing. Was Milton the mole man? Okay, so that way goes to Barbara's room too.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Okay. back here. Could we have gone in there to begin with? Interesting.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
She apparently worked at a diner. And had a bunch of Seattle Starlets things. And that is the nastiest birthday cake that has ever existed. Next to a ashtray that is equally as old and gross. That's horrifyingly disgusting. I don't know how this lady can sit in this room and not comment on the horridness of that. Oh, after we just walked in, whatever that is. I don't even want to think about it. We're going to look away. Alrighty then. We don't like this room. That's where we crawled out of. Is that really all we get in here? There's gotta be more, right? There we go. There's our Barbara story.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention
We haven't heard
comeback
anything
was
about Walter
canceled.
yet, have we?
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on
In the
cue.
basement.
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Except for the music box. Oh, we actually have to play in this comic book.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Oh, hey, yeah, that looks like the worst. Those cans aren't hurting anybody today. Can we? Oh, we can. Why are we allowed to do this? What the fuck is that? That's even worse.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Alright, but like, what in the shit is that? And that? Is that that's the boy on the swing. That's how he died. Why is she a bird? I don't remember a little girl flying or anything like that. This is the little girl that turned into all the animals, yeah? Cause that's the boy on the swing. We can't hit these. That is so creepy, I need to get out of here. Okay. Anyway, I thought we might be able to figure that out.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
They cut my view off. We're gonna pop whatever pops out of there.
Oh dear!
Oh yeah, we smacked him.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
The late show.
Later,
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Alright. Now we get another... Maybe this one will be the real deal. What the heck is this chair? When did this get... That wasn't in the living room before. It looks like an egg. I was hoping we could crack it. Walter, come on, man. Why you gotta throw a skate at me? Bro, that ain't cool. Walter's room's over here, yeah?
Walter, are you there?
Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Oh, like that? Like a man
Barbara
with a hook
turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He
No
was
scream?
quite smashing. And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
That's not how you spell beautifully, is it? Oh, it is actually. Never mind, I'm done. The only way out of Just through the window.
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
And screw Walter.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Alright, let's get this guy. Gotta double tap. Always double tap. Come here. He's gonna be gone, isn't he? Fuck. Fuck.
The hookman had vanished.
Fuck.
She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Shit. We don't like this.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Creepy.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Bro. That was not worth that laugh. And of course it's got an ear on the back page. Like, alright.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Alright. Check something real quick. How are we doing? Doing pretty good. Not too bad, not too shabby. We've been live for like 4.5 hours at this point. I think maybe, just maybe, if the game just saved, which I think it did. That sounded like a train going by outside. Is there not a way to save the game?
I guess
Imagine
now
when
I know why
quit,
Mom
it
didn't
will
like me playing with the
autosave.
music box.
Okay, so we went through that. Huh? Oh, so if I quit, it won't save. I have to, like, get to the next checkpoint. Yeah. So did it save after I did that story just now? It did? Okay. Then I'm gonna call it here. Hopefully it'll pick up where we left off. Alright everyone, thanks for hanging out. It was a long stream tonight. We'll be back on tomorrow at the same time. I'll be here at midnight. We might finish up Edith Finch tomorrow. I know it's a pretty short game, and then we'll probably jump back into Final Fantasy, which I may start over given that, you know, the original stream didn't record. So, I'll see y'all at midnight tomorrow. Take it easy.